Okay, so we're now in line.
Can I raise at some point my question about the words before me and the second command?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so sorry, I just need to check.
No, just on this usual time.
Yes, okay. Are you sure? Because I really can't see us. I mean, do you have your phone? Anyway, let's start, and maybe we'll come online, or maybe it's my phone, who knows. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to this Shabbat Ruchani, Shabbat music, to enter this day, which is so special for us. And of course, the Shabbat is not as smooth and without any concerns that we can have. We can expect Shabbat to be sometime, but we are going to try to really get this feeling of rest, of oneg, of pleasure of being together as a community with the first prayer, which is more a plea for healing for our world. There are so many worrying news coming from Israel now at the moment and from all over the world, and we want to be part of this healing energy that goes through the whole world, and we are going to pray to God. Ana and la refan Allah. Oh God, pray, heal whoever you think in your heart. Shalom Aleichem is now the next song we are going to sing together, and we're welcoming the angels, which according to the Jewish tradition are coming to accompany us on Shabbat. We have a Yetera Neshama, an additional soul, and we have these angels coming and being with us on Shabbat to make sure that we have a peaceful day. Anna, can I ask you to light 2 Shabbat candles, please?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהים מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נשר שבת.
Shabbat shalom. So we turn now to page 2, and we are going to 40 שנה. I think it's not in. Is it in the Synagogue? No. Okay, let's go to skip it. Yeah, let's skip it. Yeah. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing to the Eternal a new song. Sing to the Eternal all the earth. The next psalm, Psalm 96. Ya'aloz sadai v'chol asher bo. How do you understand this verse? Let the field be glad and all within it. How do you understand that? Have you ever seen a field rejoicing? So what was the poetic behind it?
Well, wheat waving in the wind.
Yeah. Like in, the 70s. Sorry?
I think I've heard an expression of people having fun in the long grass.
Fun? Oh, gosh. Fun in the long grass, yes, yeah. Why not? And smoking the grass maybe as well, but it's So יעלו שדה וכל אשר בו, אז יחננו כל יצא יער, let all trees of the forest sing out. So it's kind of, nature is alive, nature has a consciousness, and nature is not just inanimate objects without any soul. So I think that's a very powerful teaching of this verse. Yeah.
So I'm trying to establish a Ruchani tradition in which I play a brief intro that has almost nothing at all to do with the tune.
Just to confuse us more. I hope they had fun with the long grass. כי אתה אדוני עליון על כל הארץ, מאוד נעלית על כל אלוהים. For you eternal are supreme over all the earth. You ate, no. You are exalted over all divine beings.
Real life.
Yes.
With Ozora, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Kiatara Adonai.
לזכר קודשו שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו אור זרעו על הצדיק ולשכיהם לב שמחה אור זרעו על הצדיק ולשכיהם לב שמחה שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו אור זרוע לצדיק ולשכי לב שמחה. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. You righteous rejoice in the eternal and acclaim God's holy name. Who are these tzaddikim? Who are these righteous people? Are we tzaddikim?
Well, we're not supposed to say, are we?
We're not supposed to say it, absolutely. So why do we say, why do we talk to ourselves, Simchu tzaddikim b'Adonai?
Well, we could rejoice in the fact that there are some 30-odd tzaddikim here or there.
Yeah, 36 will have
safe.
So they're doing us for us. Yeah?
Yeah, there's quite a lot to take on, isn't it?
It's a lot to take on. But you know, lots of the things in Torah and the Bible are not, I mean, they are kind of something to aspire to. Because we know that as human beings we're flawed. But we know also that there's a direction to go. And of course, if someone says, guys, I'm a tzaddik, you can be sure that there's something missing.
So when did the idea of the 36 come? How long?
So I think it's already a Talmudic tradition.
It was already a
I think, I'm not sure now. It's quite late. It's late Talmudic or early medieval. I can't remember exactly. But the idea is that 36 righteous people are there at any generation to keep the world up and running, and nobody knows who this tzaddik, and even themselves don't know who they are. But God knows. And there are 36 of each generation. And of course, there's a book written by André Schwarzbach, which was also translated, The Last of the Righteous. Because when you start killing, 50% of the Jewish people, there's a good chance that you're killing, and you're really breaking the balance of the universe when you destroy a population like this. And this book is amazing, The Last of the Righteous. And that always we question where was God at the end. Do you remember what happened at the very end of the book? Yeah, they're going to gas chamber, but something happens from heaven. A tear is coming down from heaven. It's very interesting. So of course some people say, well, yeah, why didn't you do anything? But that's the price to pay to be human beings and to be...
But the question is not where is God at Auschwitz, the question is where is man?
Absolutely.
I can't remember who said that, it wasn't me.
No, I think, I can't remember who said that either, but yeah, it's a very powerful phrase.
Wasn't that in the New Testament though? Wasn't that something to do with when Jesus was crucified? I don't know.
So those 36, they're called the Lamed Vavniks, because the Hebrew numbers are made from the Hebrew alphabet, so Lamed Vav. So for some reason they were talking about this from doing one day, and you know how they can't pronounce Hebrew. So they called them the Lamed Vavniks.
Oh no! The lame Vavniks. The poor Vavniks. The lame Vavniks, oh dear.
I think we should now call them that. I think that's it.
Mon Dieu. Okay, we go now to the next verse, Hariyu l'Adonai, which is a very nice Sephardi tune, very lively, and it's about shouting for joy. Hariyu is making this joyful noise when we're happy. I mean, of course, in England we're more constrained, but you can imagine it's a Middle Eastern literature, so people are more...
You're trying.
I'm trying, but I don't want to push too far because, just want to be at the limit of a comfort zone, not beyond, because otherwise... Yeah, but it's...
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, but slowly, I don't believe in revolution myself.
Give some people like me hope. Come on.
Hariyu Ladonai.
Facebook, by the way.
Sorry?
We are now live.
Oh, okay, so... I don't know.
Oh, we are, yes.
We are?
Oh, right. Yes, we should be.
Craig is amazing. Yes! Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig.
It's like we have a problem.
The Facebook stream was going to my cat's page.
I know. That's what I found out when I went over there. That's why I said that to you. I said it's going to Pluto. Craig has a Facebook page called Pluto the Cat, which he uses as like a dummy page when he's like testing the stream. So for some reason this evening, instead of going to our live base, he decided to went to Pluto the Cat page.
Well...
But he has now fixed it.
Okay, good.
So there you go.
Brilliant. Okay. Hariyu Ladonai kol haaretz pitzvu veranenu vezameru Hariyu Ladonai kol haaretz pitzvu veranenu vezameru zameru Ladonai bechino וכל זמרה זמרו לאדוני בכינור וכל זמרה לי I just want, woo! There's so much energy when you sing and music. So I think, let you feel with, with music and sing along. And it doesn't matter, we're not opera singers. So just please join me wherever you are in your singing ability, it doesn't matter. What really matters is the kavanah, the intention you're putting into your singing. It doesn't matter. Okay? Now the next one, I really want you to join me because we need to call. Korim el Adonai ve'hu ya'eh. So you know there is a tradition that says the Messiah will come when all Jews in the world would have will observe all of them Shabbat once. So I'm going to be more, yeah, exactly. The Messiah will come when all careless will have sung this Korim el Adonai together with all the kavanah you can. So,
and then our Messiah will come.
And then the Messiah will come. Okay? Okay. Korem, that's the Hebrew. Yeah, Korim, yes. Oh, there's another. Oh, all these typos, I keep. Anyway, it's fine, it's working for. Thank you. I will check. But yeah, it's weird. Korem, no, not Korem. It doesn't mean anything, Korem. Yeah. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, thank you. We need these moments where we let everything go in a safe environment, because there's so much pressure. See, if we don't let the energy go, it's kind of, we need that, and we feel much better after. So now the next one is a bit quieter, just to go back into the Shabbat spirit. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor, it's a bit high for me.
Oh, can't do anything about that, I'm sorry. Mizmor
Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov leodot l'Adonai. Oh, it's going to be really high. Yeah, I'm not sure I've got it. Yes, probably better.
Mizmor
Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov leodot l'Adonai. ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינוך, מזמור שיר ליום השבת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינוך. And now the words. Lechadodi. You know, it was supposed to be danced. How do you say danced?
We do dance to this one.
Because they would sing this in the fields in Sfat. So this is where the Alo Sadai, the field rejoiced, because they would go out and dance to welcome Shabbat.
We're shuffling.
We're shuffling, yes.
Please shuffle. Please shuffle in waltz time.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo וזמרו בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם תפארת ולי תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת ובנלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. וראש מקדם נהסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעודך ומי יורי, אורי אורי שתדברי, כדון אדוני עלייך נקרא. לך דודי בני שבת נקבלה. שלום עצרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצער. So you can remain standing because it's... No, this is not very British, yes. The one who can remain standing is Barichun. Please be seated. Blessed are you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will set the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the host of heaven. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ama'ariv Aravim. שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt, forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together.
But a little bit higher in key than that.
Ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha, neda b'kodesh Torah, tehilot, osei,
Yes, please.
Yeah. Grant, eternal God, that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, Amideinu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, Amideinu malkeinu lechayim.
Shall
Eloheinu lechayim, Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Yamidenu Malkeinu lechayim. Baruch ata Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. Amen. We rise from מגן אבות ואמות ואימהות. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elokei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elokei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elokei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ. מגן אבות ואימהות בדברו, בחיי הכל במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כיוון רצה להניח להם, לפניו לעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מעון הברכות אל ההודעות, אדון השלום, מקדש השבת, ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעם מדושני עונג, זכר למעשה בראשית. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, and God of those who came before us, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah. Great, mighty, and revered God, God transcendent, maker of heaven and earth. With a word you shielded our ancestors, with a phrase you give all things life. Sacred God beyond compare, who took joy in providing rest for your people on your holy Shabbat day, who will serve you reverently, acknowledging on each and every day forever just who you are, the one to whom blessing goes, the one to whom thanksgiving is due. Source of peace, who recalls the time of creation by sanctifying Shabbat, blessing the seventh day, and in holiness granting rest to a people overflowing with joy. Please be seated. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol bnei Adam ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince, for your guitar tonight. And thank you, all of you, for, I can see that you're getting there. You start to feel that. No, I mean, it's good because it's a very different type of service. And I know that, to allow ourselves, just to engage with the moment, it takes time. It takes time.
Would you let us know when you arrive?
What do you mean? When you arrive, no, you know it, believe me.
Could I just ask, if you don't mind, there's a problem that bothers me in the wording of the second of our Ten Commandments, which is, we normally say, thou shalt have no other gods before me. What does before me mean? That we should have other gods, but not before Hashem? Why do we need these words before me? Should go.
Is it lifnei?
Lefanai, yes.
Lefanai. So it means it's not time, it's space.
That can't be right.
It's not time.
Before. It's in Hebrew. It's like
In front of me.
It's
Spatial. It's space.
Yeah.
It's the space before me, like this cup is before me.
It's not hierarchy. But the implication, that's not where we should have other gods. The implication is that there's somewhere else where we should.
no,
Where we can.
no,
because God's
not
everywhere.
in Hebrew.
Why do we need the words before me? If you cut the words before me, we get to the truth. Thou shalt have no other gods.
He's been thinking of it for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, I hope you didn't lose your sleep on that, right? Deep theological question. It bothers you, yes? Lefanai means before me, spatially before me. Not.
Michael's question is, if that word wasn't there, what we lost?
I think we wouldn't have lost everything.
We're
Yes, I think it's a very valid point.
I think the use of the word before me is entirely simple and inappropriate.
Okay.
Because it implies that if it's not before me, then it's okay to have other gods.
But who wrote it?
May I make a suggestion? Next time you're actually just go stum for that little bit. And I don't think anybody will strike you down.
No.
Just go stum at
I
that precise
understand
moment.
that. But it just bothers me that we use these two words which are inappropriate before.
I wouldn't say inappropriate, but maybe. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have a look at what the commentators said about that. Because, yeah, it's a good question. I'll have a look later, so, yeah. Okay, guys. So tonight I didn't want to talk about what's before God, especially. I just want to talk about one aspect of this particular Shabbat, which is, it's Parashat Tetzaveh, but it's also Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat that precedes immediately Purim. So Purim begins on Monday evening, and Purim day is on Tuesday, so the day of Purim. We will celebrate Purim tomorrow with Beiteinu, because I don't think anyone will come on Tuesday, and it's best to have more people on Shabbat, even if it's not really the real day. It doesn't really matter, but I'd rather have all of us, and there wouldn't be any kid anywhere on Tuesday, because I can't see any parents taking their kids off school for that. Okay, Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat that precedes Purim. There's a special reading taken from Deuteronomy 25. Remember, what happened here? Remember what Amalek did to you. Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember, Zachor. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. How undeterred by fear of God, he surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. So that's a very famous passage in Deuteronomy 25, and the Torah has to continue. When the eternal you God grants you safety from all enemies around you in the land that the Eternal is giving you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek. Do not forget. So there's a very strong commandment to erase the memory of Amalek. And you know that in the Talmud, Amalek is the arch enemy of the Jews. And why do we read this before Purim? Do you know why? What's the connection between Amalek and Purim? Who is the arch villain in Haman, yes. He's a descendant. Yeah. Haman was a descendant of Amalek according to the Jewish tradition. This is why they're connected. All the villains in the Jewish history were descendants of Amalek. And of course, the most recent Amalek was actually born in Austria in the end of the 19th century. And if you go to the Mémorial de la Shoah in Paris, in the 4th arrondissement, that's a museum, a memorial, it's not really a museum. There's a huge wall, stone-clad facade, and at the top of it there is a line from a Hebrew poem by Zalman Shneur, who died in 1959, and he says, "Remember what Amalek did to our generation, Amalek who exterminated 6 million bodies and souls." So there's a lineage, if you want, about Amalek from this Amalek in Deuteronomy. So as you know, the earlier generations of liberal Jews, in this country at least, did not want to celebrate Purim, precisely because of the violence that the end of the book contains. If you remember the end of the book, which we don't, we do Purim, but we don't talk about what happens at the end of the book. But we have to remember that, so the Jews are, there's a huge threat, annihilation threat by Haman and then Esther managed to turn the evil decree and to make a victory for the Jews. And at the end, you've got these victorious Jews slaughtering thousands of enemies after they had prevailed. And it doesn't seem to bother the author of the book of Esther, all these thousands and thousands of people killed by the Jews. And of course, it's a problem. Because the question is, are we to take revenge on our enemies? Is it acceptable to kill thousands of people, even if they had wished us harm? I think it's a very important question. So how do we deal with our enemies? In a few weeks, we are going to celebrate another event in our history. I'm not going into that as it really happened or not. It doesn't really matter. But it's kind of our history, even if it's maybe mythical. Remember Exodus out of Egypt, Haggadah. Remember when we say the 10 plagues, we take a drop of wine each time we say, and the reason is because we don't rejoice over the pain and the suffering, even of our enemies. So there's a very, very strong message here. One does not rejoice over the misfortunes of other human beings, even if they are our enemies. So which one is the correct lesson? Do we take revenge on our enemies, or do we show compassion to our enemies? So we have here two commandments to remember. We have Zecher Amalek, Zachor et Amalek et Asher Asa. Zecher Amalek, this is the memory of Amalek. And we have also Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim, the remembrance of the Exodus out of Egypt. So we've got these two commandments of remembrance. One calls for violence, and the other for compassion. In both situations, in the situation of Amalek in the Deuteronomy and the Exodus out of Egypt, there are tensions, violence, but the answer is very, very, very greatly. Before I go back to this notion of Zecher Amalek and Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim, I would like to make a detour over Israel and to examine the current situation this country finds itself in. Israel is now at a crossroads. For the past 20 years, the country has swerved towards a politics that is more and more right-wing and more populist. And the current government is, to a very large extent, the end point of this evolution. And you know what's happening is very serious, because it's the soul of Israel itself. The government of Israel is trying to limit the power of the Supreme Court of Justice, the only institution that protects democracy in Israel, because there is no constitution. You know that you have these basic laws, but there is no written constitution. So the High Court, the Supreme Court, examines all the laws and makes sure that they are in accordance with the unwritten constitution of Israel. And now the government is trying to limit this power. And we've seen this in the past. We've seen governments trying to limit the power of the judicial system because they don't like what they've decided. They don't like when, for example, the government makes a decision and it's anti-constitutional and the tribunal says, no, you can't do that. And of course, I remember when it was during the Brexit referendum, when you had these 4 judges of the High Court, they ruled against, I can't remember what they ruled against, and the right-wing press was, look at these people, they are the enemies of the people. That's pure populism. So this exists, this is real. We need judicial power to ensure the balance, the checks and balances in any country. Elected government cannot do everything they want. You are not elected with a free blank check to do whatever you want. Because this is what Hitler did. He was elected democratically, and then he changed everything. When you're elected, you have to abide by the rules of the country, because you're in power for 5, 10, 20 years, but the country is much longer. And we saw that also towards the Palestinians. The government has been even more repressive. You've seen the radical Jews who have committed an act that some have described, and it's very powerful, in Hawara, this Palestinian village a few days ago. They said it was like a pogrom that killed people, that destroyed houses. They responded, and I'm not saying that there was no violence, of course, but they responded to violence by more violence. So, Moses has joined us. In 1985, the basic law that governs the Knesset, remember there's no constitution, there's just basic laws, declared that Israel was democratic and Jewish. Democratic and Jewish. And this is where we have a problem. Because when you say Jewish, what do we mean by Jewish? For some Jews, Zecher Hamalek, destroying the enemy, is the way to deal with the opponents. For others, it is Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim, being compassionate with those who disagree with you. And of course, as you know, progressive Judaism is more on the side of a compassionate side of a debate, and will always try to find compromises to solve problems. But those who are now in power in Israel are definitely on the side of Zecher Amalek. They have no problem with resorting to violence to settle an issue. Of course, they despise our version of Judaism. They declare that you are not real Jews. They declare that we are traitor to Judaism. And to a certain extent, I want to tell them, but hold on, you are actually betraying Judaism. You are betraying the values of Judaism. And then we end up in this, what's the definition of Judaism here? I believe, because it's more than just religious stuff. I believe that compassion is stronger than violence. Because I'll talk about it in a moment. So you've seen the countless number of Israelis who took to the streets en masse, demonstrating against this very authoritarian drift in the country. This shift, as I said earlier, the shift towards more authoritarian politics can be seen everywhere in the world, as if the idea of liberal democracy is slowly fading away. But the fight is not over, and don't be fooled, there is a fight happening now. And if we don't take part, we're going to be swallowed up by that. There is a fight for a liberal society against those who want to contain, to restrain, and to limit all these hard-fought liberties. Think about all the liberty. It's going to be a bit controversial, but I'm not taking a stand here. When we had these waves of strikes in the country a few months ago, the answer of the government was, let's limit the right to strike. It's very interesting because you have an issue, and instead of saying, let's talk clearly, let's try to address the problem, is we don't listen to you, we limit the strike. And it's, and that's, I think, very, very dangerous to do so. Because people don't listen to each other. I mean, on both sides. I strongly believe that we are and we must be on the side of Zecher Yetziat Mitzrayim. Revenge does not end the cycle of violence. Revenge fuels it. Sometimes it's very difficult, and this is something we feel ourselves. When you've been wronged, sometimes it's very difficult not to retaliate. And we have, and I have to confess today, that sometimes I have a bit of Schadenfreude, when karma comes in and someone who wronged me is suddenly, well, things happen for a reason. But, putting an end to a cycle of violence requires moral strength. It requires to leave aside our sense of pride, to accept that our wounds won't be healed if we inflict wounds to the others. But we also have to accept that sometimes, as it's the case now, sadly, conflict is unavoidable. We must be proud and we must promote our liberal values. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not ready to live in a world dominated by the Netanyahus and the Putins of the day, nor am I willing to leave this as a legacy to the next generation. Thank you. Right. Thank you. So tomorrow, of course, Purim with Beiteinu. We have a Purim spiel. So then we read a version of the Megillah expurged from any violence, I have to say, and I own it entirely because because it's. I will mention it to them because they need to know. Expurging it's always difficult when you censor something. When you have all these difficult texts. So, like when I look at the the lectionary, the LJ lectionary, which carefully avoids all these very difficult texts. And I think we should engage with that. We should engage with the difficult text because this is how we grow, how we understand, how we take a distance. I know when you see something that's wrong, it's okay, not for me. Okay, so tomorrow the Megillah will be read by the kids, and then they will do a Purim spiel. Jeanette will bring some costumes for the adults as well. So a box of them. So don't be shy tomorrow if you want to come.
We've only got one pair of rabbit ears, I'm afraid.
One pair of what?
We only have one pair of rabbit ears.
Oh, okay. We'll leave them to you, man. I think I still have somewhere my
I guess I've still got my tiara from Queen Vashti.
Bring your tiara tomorrow.
Queen Vashti will come and do the live
Queen
stream.
Vashti will come. Yes, yeah. Wednesday the 15th, speaking of Israel, so Wednesday the 15th, I've invited Yachad to come here. Yachad is a charity that, deals with, but it's wants people to talk about the conflict. So we'll have people from the Palestinian side and people from the Israeli side, and talking together. Because we need to keep this dialogue open, and some conversations are very difficult, and I'm very careful not to bring them too often to careless, because I know how Israel can be a very contentious subject, and I don't want this to dominate the narrative of our community. But sometimes we can't avoid it. And sometimes we need to talk about that. So they will come. They don't take side. Remember, we had these two ladies who came before COVID. We had a young Palestinian, young Israeli women and they came, I talked about their lives. This is what we need to bring people together. And then you see the other person, and the other person is not a monster. The other person is a human being with blood and emotions and hopes and sadness. And then when you see the face of a human being in the other, then you can start making peace. Is there anything else?
Sunday morning, we're on the telly.
Oh yes, yes, this Sunday, 10:30, BBC One. Yes.
10:30 on Sunday morning.
BBC One,
BBC
yes.
Yes.
The circus, yes. Yeah, yeah.
So watch out for the Sandra Levine show.
So, yeah, they told me out of 5 minutes for the subject, 4 minutes are for Sandra. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember now. I hope you're all looking at the newsletter. Let me just...
Sarah also said book crashes on the 11th of March.
Book crashes on the 11th of March, which is next Saturday. Let me check if there's anything else. What else? Oh yeah, for those who are taking the Extreme Judaism class, I've changed the day from Tuesday to Thursday because I know that some of the students want to participate in the choir, so then they can come and join the choir. But they have to go, otherwise I'm going to use my stick. Yeah. Of course, you've got all the information in the newsletter. So, if you can, we have the biennial Friday the 19th, Sunday the 21st of May. If you can come, it would be nice to have a careless delegation for the weekend. And yeah. Anything else? Brilliant. Right, okay, so let's conclude our service now with Aleinu, with and then it's page 7. And then all as dividing us will burn, and then compassion will be ready to part, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then men and women will be gentle, and then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, and then all will share equally in the earth's abundance, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures, and then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth, and then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Actually, that is our homework. This is the kind of society we need to strive for.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. So, please stand for the Kaddish, and on this Shabbat we remember, I think we already said his name last week, but we can say it again, Walter Merkel, the father of David Merkel. Ivor Kiverstein and David Kiverstein. Ivor was a brother of Keith Kiverstein, and David was the father of Keith. Do you have any other name you would like to remember today? Oh yes, sorry. Your husband. Zichronam Livracha. May the memory be a blessing. And we say together, we are on page 8. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי לקודשה בריחום. לעילה מן כל ביחתה ושירתה, תוש בחתה ונחמתה, דא מירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום יאמר, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם ואמרו אמן. Okay, Vince. What have you prepared for final song?
How about my Afro?
Brilliant.
Buyado is very nice, but I just feel we need something just a little bit more up.
Maya ve'ayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya ve'ayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Please stand for one last time. May God bless you and keep you. May God be with you all the days of your life. May God be with you this coming week and help you on your journeys. And let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you who came online tonight. Thank you for joining us and being so loyal to the
Can I just want to quickly say about this bit here. You always go just a bit slow on this bit here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. And then, we'll care for the